What up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P. No, the Motor City Cats, back at it. Came to give you stats, not static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And we already know who we're talking about today. We already know what it is. My bad. I got two broadcasts coming up, so I had the stuff up for the wrong one. What up, though, Will Murray? Glad you found me again. I have been here for the whole time, and nothing but the time, because you already know what type of time I'm on. But with that being said, we got to get into what we got to get into. What up, though, Aaron Smith? What up, though, Justin Fan? The Detroit Lions now know who they will be playing in the divisional round of the playoffs. Coming to Ford Field Saturday at 8 p.m. are the Washington Commanders and Jaden Daniels, the rookie sensation. Some, even myself, well, really, it was myself. I heard Chris Collinsworth say something, but I'm never going to adopt a take from Chris Collinsworth. He said it after me. Now, I know Chris Collinsworth don't watch me. Chris Collinsworth doesn't know who I am. But I said this before Chris Collinsworth said it, and I don't think, as some people, right, I don't think major people like Chris Collinsworth would be stealing from me. I know there are those out there who would believe such a thing. But that is not what I believe. Oh, what up, though, Aaron Smith? Appreciate that, man. Appreciate you coming back through. But my take was that I ain't saying he's Lamar. I'm just saying there are similarities. But to be quite clear, Lamar Jackson scares the hell out of me. Jaden Daniels does not. Much love and appreciation, Aaron Smith. Appreciate you. For sure, 100. Listen, the Washington Commanders are a team that has had a miraculous turnaround. Much like the turnaround of the Detroit Lions, however, it was faster because they got the quarterback right. They already had some pieces, and they were suffering from Dan Snyder. Dan Snyder was a cancer. Dan Snyder was holding this organization back. Dan Snyder was stopping this organization from getting people in place that would help that team go to new heights or the heights that they were expecting to reach, so on and so forth. So once they got Dan Snyder up out of there, it was a lot easier for them to go ahead and turn over a new leaf a lot faster than it was for the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions came into a situation where everything was pretty much gutted. We brought in Jared Goff, and we really didn't have too many more pieces on that roster. So we had to not only establish a new culture, but we had to establish a new roster as well. So this is the top seed in the playoffs, in the NFC playoffs, going against the lowest remaining seed in the NFC playoffs. It is the 1 seed versus the 6 seed, and it is going to be full of action. It's going to be action-packed. I'm not going to predict a BTA because I never predict BTA. It's not because I'm not confident. It's because I'm not going to get cocky, right? I'm not going to put the cart before the horse. What up, though, Tactical Sport? Joseph says Don P is the sports wonder from down under who takes the lightning and thunder. He'll give facts that are pragmatic but never gives you static unless your name is Sam Flannel. And you're posting from your mom's attic. I just added that part myself. Well, we're going to get into the Washington Commanders and all of that stuff in a bit. But before I forget, I just want to go around the league because it was Super Wild Card Weekend. I am going to be streaming the next game, even though it doesn't matter anymore, just to kick it with the people. So if you're here, it won't be like a staying on from that because I'm gonna move to another broadcast. I'll close this one out and move on to that one. But let's go around the league and talk about the slate of games that we saw in Super Wild Card Weekend, because most of them were trash. Most of the games were trash. We'll start with the AFC, because this is a conversation that goes around and will be going around probably for the entire offseason. After the Super Bowl is done, all the festivities, and we start looking ahead to next year, the national media, and especially the LA media, if they can find, the time to care, they're going to be talking about Justin Herbert. Listen, I've been telling people that Justin Herbert is Matthew Stafford from Detroit. That's how you sum up his career. He's Matthew Stafford from Detroit, because Matthew Stafford, no matter who he had at coach, could not get it done. Now you look at, okay, he had Jim Schwartz. Okay, he had Jim Caldwell. Well, Jim Caldwell is a Super Bowl winning coach, right? Right? Wasn't Jim Caldwell the offensive coordinator when Peyton Manning went and beat Chicago in the Super Bowl? Think so. So you had that guy that had the cachet and the experience. And then someone said something today. I think it was Braylon. He said, when the coach takes the ball out of your hands as a quarterback, that means that coach doesn't trust you. Remember, someone named Jim Caldwell came in here and took the ball out of Matthew Stafford's hands. Remember that? Remember when he did that? When he had Jim Bob Cooter and them boys, and he was just like, look, man, we can't have this dude slinging it, because, he might throw for 400 yards in a game, but he also might throw for 3 picks. Well, I would submit that though Jim Harbaugh is over the moon with Justin Herbert and can't imagine having another quarterback, and this is what he does. To some degree, I mean, he did the same thing with J.J. McCarthy. You finally get the quarterback, and then you don't trust him with the football. That's fine. But everyone looked at how can Jim Harbaugh unlock Herbert, and how he unlocked him was to take the ball out of his hands, right? Take down his turnovers, play ball control offense. Okay, his stats were a little bit less gaudy. He had the 5,000 yards as the rookie and all these things. But you know what? They got to the playoffs. And then when they got to the playoffs, they had us picking the Chargers. Everybody was looking at the Chargers like, oh my God, they're such a, they're going to be the surprise. They might be able to go in the Arrowhead and upset the Chiefs in the playoffs. They might be able to do it. Then Justin Herbert shows up and he says, hey y'all, hold my beer. And he goes on to throw 4 interceptions. 4 interceptions. That has nothing to do with the talent that you have around. Quentin Johnson needs to get to work on his hands. He needs to call up Amon-Ra St. Brown in the offseason and ask if he can train with him, so Amon-Ra St. Brown can show him how to work a jugs machine, because he clearly doesn't know how to use one. Okay? It doesn't matter that he can't catch. It doesn't matter that you really have 1.5 dogs in that receiving core with Lad McConkey, okay? Conkey. I just got to make it clear when I say his name. Lad McConkey, okay? When you got him and then, Joshua Palmer, he's good. When you throw 4 picks, that's on you. When Jared Goff threw 5 picks against the Texans, that was on, well, not all of them were on him. Some of them were tipped and things of this nature. But he wasn't throwing the picks because he didn't have talent at wide receiver, right? That is looked at as a quarterback stat. You are not forced to throw interceptions because your receivers suck, because Jared Goff's receivers, the last word that you would ascribe to his receivers is suctitude. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown, first team All-Pro. You got J-Mo, you know what he does. Absolute weapon, dog beast, beast dog, beastly dog, and dogly beast. Okay, we already know about J-Mo. Okay, hey, Tim Patrick turned into him Patrick. We already know about him. We know Khalif. We know, hey, he's got the weapons. So when he threw those 5 picks, nobody was looking at Khalif. Nobody was looking at J-Mo. Nobody was looking at Amon-Ra. Nobody was looking at Tim Patrick. Nobody was looking at any of these people going, well, if y'all could catch the ball, he wouldn't have thrown 5 interceptions. So don't look at Quentin Johnson and say, well, if you could catch the ball, Herbert wouldn't have thrown 4. No, Herbert threw 4 regardless of your ability to catch or not. You weren't wearing navy blue. You were wearing white and powder blue. And he was throwing into the guys that were wearing navy blue. That's all. That's it. That's all. That's what happened. So, Justin Herbert, the jury is out, but it's almost in. Okay? The jury is out, but it's almost in. Remember the last time he went to the playoffs and Trevor Lawrence threw, I think, 4 interceptions in the first half, and they were up 28-0 and lost? They said it was on Brandon Staley. That's fine. But if you're that dude, you know what I'm saying? And y'all might have to learn some Philly slang, because I think Philly is coming to town. But we'll get to that later. But I'm going to teach y'all some Philly slang right now. If Justin Herbert is that bull, you know what I'm saying? If he that bull, he gonna throw that drum and get a touchdown or 3 points or something in the second half to prevent you from coming back after being 4 touchdowns down, winning that football game. If Justin Herbert that bull, then he gonna do something. So obviously he's not. So as I said, the jury is out, but the jury is almost in. And it's getting late early, as they say. Let me get to what y'all thought about that before I get on to the next game. So Frank the Tank is here. What up, though? Come on, man. Let's talk about our team, the greatest team, Detroit Lions, best wide receivers, best running back for the electrician. Hey, we're going to talk about it, Frank. We're going to talk about it. I'm just giving some pretext. You know what I'm saying? Justin Fan remembers that, and Stafford probably got Jim Caldwell fired. Johnny is a whiny QB. 100%. Hold on, let me delete some things. Sometimes you just, you got too many shows. That's why. Because I thought that I start. Sometimes if I record the game streams, that takes up a lot. So, all right. So Stafford probably got Jim Caldwell fired. He's a whiny QB. Detroit mindset. What up, though? Remember, we were eliminated by them late 80s, early 90s. We need payback. Oh, definitely. And we're going to get into that. We do need to get our get back. We need to get our get back. We need to get our lick back, however you want to say it. So I'm going to give the people what they want. Y'all want to get right into the Lions, and we're going to go right into the Lions. All right. So I'm a man of the people. The Washington Commanders. I don't know if you guys saw the video. The fans were, I don't know if they were at a bar. I don't know if they were still at the stadium. They were somewhere. And they were chanting, "We want Detroit. We want Detroit. We want Detroit." And shout out Paul Thomas. I saw him, or I was listening to some Woodward as I was out working. Shout out Paul Thomas, who said the Commanders fans chanting, "We want Detroit," is like an inmate chanting, "I want the death penalty." Okay, so shout out Paul Thomas. That is yours. That's not mine. I did not come up with it. Paul Thomas did that. So for sure, shout out Paul Thomas. All right. I don't want to give too much away because obviously we need to talk about the Washington Commanders and the Detroit Lions, the matchup that's coming down the pipe for next Saturday at 8 p.m. Obviously, that's something, I plan to be streaming. So make sure you're here joining me. Look, as I was watching the game with the Washington Commanders and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I noticed something. And I commented on this. I talked about the defenses. Neither defense was doing much of anything. Yet it wasn't a high-scoring game. Neither defense understood how to cover in the middle of the football field. What up, though, Tactical Sport? Neither defense understood the assignment to a certain degree. But the thing that I was looking at the most was how every time Tampa Bay wanted the edge, they got it. Bucky Irving got the edge countless times. And every time he got the edge, I said, if that's Jameer, he's gone. If that's Jameer, he's gone. Y'all not catching him. The angles, everything has to be perfect. The Washington Commanders, as it turns out, have the third worst rushing defense in the NFL, right? They allow the third most yards in the NFL. Playoff games are tighter. Playoff defense is tighter. And I do expect for the Washington Commanders to emphasize something on defense, okay? They're going to have to emphasize something on defense. If it's stopping the run, then that means they're going to have to change what they do. You can't stop the run the way that they play it, so now they have to bring extra people into the box. Well, if you bring extra people into the box, then you're bringing those people out of coverage. And if you're bringing them out of coverage, we got people that you have to double. Okay? We have people that you have to double. We have people that you have to bracket. So if you ain't going to double and you ain't going to bracket, that means you're going to get one-on-one with J-Mo. You're going to get one-on-one with Amon-Ra. You're going to get one-on-one with Sam LaPorta. You're going to get one-on-one with somebody. If you're like, well, let's take away J-Mo over the top and commit people into the box, now you're opening up the middle of the field. Okay, Jahmyr Gibbs versus linebackers. Amon-Ra St. Brown versus linebackers. Sam LaPorta versus linebackers. It truly is a pick your poison type of situation. And the reason that I wanted the Commanders was because their defense is bad. Like if you are in the playoffs and someone in a fan base says that they would rather face you because of a weakness that you actually have, Not because of some preconceived notions, and we're going to get into that in a little bit. Not because of those things. But when we look at your team, we can see that you are not a good defense. And we want to play you. We'll take our chances with your all-world rookie of the year quarterback. We'll take our chances with your quarterback that has shades, not shades of gray, but shades of Lamar Jackson. Okay, he's not as fast as Lamar, but as a rookie, he's definitely a more polished passer than Lamar was when he was a rookie. So there are comparisons that you can make, and there are shades of Lamar, but we'll take our chances with Jaden Daniels because your defense, quite frankly, sucks. It sucks. Lions' greatest hit says Bobby Wagner on LaPorta, and he laughs. Okay? Bobby Wagner, listen, I said this yesterday. Bobby Wagner is going to be a man possessed on Saturday because whenever, that's fine, they got the dub, but whenever they look back at the highlights of that game versus the Buccaneers, him getting trucked by Baker is going to be on there. Okay? Him getting trucked by Baker is going to be. Now, the thing that's not going to be on there is him tackling Baker and then injuring himself. Okay? But he didn't look great. Okay? And that's not a image he wants to last on film. You know, once it's on film, it's forever unless they delete the film. And we know NFL ain't deleting no film. But he doesn't want that to be the lasting impression on film, him getting trucked by a quarterback. So he's going to do whatever he can. Lions' greatest hit says, I love how we played Richardson. I don't expect it to be the same because Richardson is a bad quarterback, right? Jaden Daniels is very good. Richardson sucks, okay? He's, you know, he needs a new quarterback coach. He needs a quarterback miracle worker, quarterback whisperer. He needs all the things because he's not good at football. At least not at the quarterback position. He's good at being an athlete, but being a quarterback, we actually have to account for Jaden Daniels' accuracy, right? We can't just take away his legs. Richardson, all you had to do was take away his legs. He was not accurate. He was sailing balls. He was missing open receivers. You know, that could have been a game, but it wound up not being one. Mega Hustle 313 says, one thing I noticed is that the Commanders' field goal kicker is shaky, which could benefit the... Bruh, my man was like... You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what is all that? What's with all the hair? What are you doing, bro? Like, he looks so shaky and so nervous. Like, I've never seen a person do that. Like, why are you putting your helmet on the top of your, and then taking it and fixing it? I'm like, bruh, what does that have to do with you about to go kick a field goal to win this game to send y'all to Detroit? What was that? I don't even know if that was a ritual. Bruh, that man looked shaky. He looked nervous and then tried his best to miss that kick. He tried so hard. He was on the left hash and hit the right upright. Bruh, do you know how difficult that is? To almost miss the entire net from one side to the other and just hit the upright. And got lucky and banked it in. He's their fourth kicker this year, yeah. And he looked like it too. He looked like their fourth kicker. But, you know, the Jaden Daniels thing, Jaden Daniels has played in big moments. Dan Campbell said today in his press conference that Jaden Daniels doesn't play like a rookie quarterback. And I would agree that he doesn't play like a rookie quarterback. What I expected for Tampa Bay was to be able to confuse him. I expected Todd Bowles and his exotic pressures and his exotic blitz and coverage looks would confuse Jaden Daniels. But Jaden Daniels was not bothered by Todd Bowles and his defense. But I do expect for Jaden Daniels to be bothered by Jack Campbell and Alex Anzalone and some of the looks that Aaron Glenn is going to throw his way. I expect that wholeheartedly. And while the Washington Commanders may have some big plays and they may score some touchdowns, their defense being terrible, their secondary is not particularly great either. Marshawn Lattimore, we can't say that he's washed. We can't say anything because he failed to shut down Mike Evans, because Mike Evans is a first ballot Hall of Famer for a reason. But, you know, I don't know if Marshawn Lattimore is just an irritant like Josh Norman. I don't know if he's going to be trying to get into Amon-Ra St. Brown's head. He's definitely not going to be on J-Mo. He's going to get cooked. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But Mikey Sanders still has been playing well throughout the season. He is also a rookie. He missed a big tackle on Mike Evans, but again, he's given up like 7 inches and you know, probably 100 pounds. You know, at least 60 pounds, right? So I there's a lot of things that don't add up and they don't match up. Styles make fights. Matchups make games. There's a lot of things that don't match up with what the Lions do from their defensive perspective. The running game is the prime thing that doesn't match up for them. They're bad. They're bad at stopping the run. Especially on such a short kick. St. Juice been getting cooked. Oh, well, then I hope he's on J-Mo. I do. But again, you know, this is not the time for teams to get stupid and foolish. This is the playoffs. You are not going to let J-Mo beat you. You are not going to have him manned up in coverage and just not have any safety help over the top. You're not. So this is what I mean by pick your poison. Your defense is going to be stretched thin, and you're going to have to figure things out. The only way that the Washington Commanders can do anything on defense is to always have the right thing called at the exact right time. You have to stack the box at the exact right time. You have to play coverage at the exact right time. You have to have single high safety at the exact right time. Like, you can't make any mistakes playing against this offense with as bad as your defense is. And I don't think that they can do that. You know, the Buccaneers lost the game not just on a handoff, a fumbled handoff exchange, but they lost the game on a fumbled handoff exchange. You know, like Dan Quinn does go for it on fourth down a lot, right? So I don't think he's trying to be Dan Campbell. But I've seen them in spots, big spots, go for it and not get it. They did it last night. They did it against the Cowboys. And they, you know, that was a crazy ending to that game. But they did it again last night. And that's when Tampa Bay turned right back around and fumbled the handoff exchange. They had the opportunities to win the game, did the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but they didn't win it. They couldn't close. Vondi Gaming, what up, though? Says, hey, Motor City, was there any info on Arnold's injury? We expect him to play. The injury report will come out tomorrow, but we do expect him to play. He's already said he was playing. Now, the last time somebody said that they were playing was DJ Reader when he was dealing with the shoulder injury, and he sat out the game because they didn't let him go. So we'll see tomorrow when they release that first injury report. Yeah, Tom Carb said he said he'll be ready to go. Yes, for sure. He said that, but let's look at the official one will probably have him as questionable. And if anything, other than doubtful or out, those things are positive. Monty definitely will be back. Dan Campbell at the podium today said that Monty is a tone setter. There is a place for him here in Detroit, and there is a place for him in the game. So he's definitely playing. He's definitely going to be coming back. And they're going to eat, bro. This is what I'm saying. I think it was Everything King that was like, they're going to rush for, I think he said 250 and 2 tuds or 3 tuds, something like that. You expect them to have a monster game unless Washington commits everything they have to stacking the box. And if they commit everything they have to stacking the box, then Jared Goff throws for 405 touchdowns. How do you want it? How does it feel? It's one of those types of things. Motown Mitch, what up, though? Lions rule, Bears drool. It's almost time to dine on some Redskins flesh. Very cannibalistic, but I'll take it. Okay, your trolling is immaculate. Yeah, Carlton is not coming back. That's unfortunate. But Amik the Freak getting it out the mud. Some people believe that he was just a slot corner and don't really look at what he did in Las Vegas. And speaking of those some people, Vondi, she says that all the time. She's always pressed. It's ain't pressed, but she pressed. Okay? Don Pot. How do you want it? Yeah. All right. Speaking of which, Tim Martin Esquire, Jaden Daniels, too wiry. He's got a lot of poise for a rookie QB, but he's gonna get sacked. He's taken the hits all season. The only time he ever really got kind of taken off his game, off his spot, was when he literally got knocked out of the game with the bruised ribs. K ain't pressed, but you have to realize, I don't know if you were here when we broke it. We were having this debate, and you probably weren't. Excuse me. You probably weren't here because it turned out to be a 3-hour show. It was like I was streaming a game. The debate that we had was about mobile quarterbacks, and I said that the trend was that quarterbacks being mobile is what most teams are going to go to. So for those that didn't believe me, we sat here and we broke it down division by division, team by team, conference by conference. And we would submit that Motown Mitch was here. We would submit that the only team that had a quarterback that you would think and be like, yeah, he's not mobile. Like immediately once you hear the name of the team and the quarterback was the Detroit Lions with Mr. Vanilla Vic himself, Jared Goff. Now, I say that to say this. If every team except for the Detroit Lions has a quarterback that you could consider mobile to some degree, just remember we're 15-2. You know, so that means we played what? Within our division, you could say Sam Darnold's mobile. Yeah, Jordan Love is definitely mobile. Okay, so within our and Caleb Williams is mobile. We swept our division. So I don't worry too much about the narrative that the Detroit Lions can't play against mobile quarterbacks. Look what we did to Anthony Richardson. Right? He's about as mobile as can be. Look what we did to Kyler Murray. So, hey, listen. I'm not worried. Not like I used to be. He said, I understand that, but wiping the floor. Lions Greatest Hit says, I live behind enemy lines. Morning radio guys, sports junkies are not confident. Morning radio guys are never confident. It's something about getting up early in the morning and doing a radio show, I guess. I mean, you're already 5-star Gorilla Grip, Master Pimp, Special Ops. Might as well add Cannibal to as well. Motown Mitch. Magic Johnson going to be there on Saturday at Ford Field as Commanders part owner. I had something for that. It was a joke. I'm not going to say it. Off color, distasteful. But you know, it just, whenever you say Magic Johnson, some things just pop into your head. So like it won't be even close. Lions have playoff experience. Commanders don't. Well, I mean, technically they do have one game of playoff experience, but they don't have the experience of playing at Ford Field. Goff does a lot of damage pre-snap more than many other QBs. 100%. I just want to get past Saturday. Yes, and look to Philly. And I listen, I don't know who's winning tonight. I mean, do we think either one of those teams can beat Philly? I don't know. Which proves that the NFL is devolving. Donald ain't all that. Let's see what he got tonight. How is the NFL devolving? NFL is evolving. TM Martin, because Motown Mitch doesn't like mobile quarterbacks. Ain't gonna lie, I watched Goff back in high school. Looked like he was gonna be mobile as well until he got to college level. I mean, look, every dude that comes out of high school, it seems as though they have some sort of mobility, even back in the day. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you know, to be the type of quarterback or player or athlete that you have to be Mr. Football in your state, to be, you know, all types of 5-star offers, to being in the Heisman race, to being a number 1 overall pick, to being picked in the top 5, whatever the case. You have to have that kind of man amongst boys thing in high school, because that's what you are. And then when you get to the NFL, or when you get to college, then it kind of levels out a little bit, but you know, you still can be a superstar in college. And if you're a superstar in college and it translates, then you're going to be, you know, one of them bulls. Okay, Philly's saying, because hopefully we got to play. Well, I don't hope to play Philly, you know, but whoever we're playing, they come in Detroit. So, off topic, but I can't find an answer. Why can't I find the Lions Hard Knock season anywhere? Sorry about being off topic. I'm going to put something in the chat because I don't know if I can say it. But you guys, just thank me for this. You'll thank me later. Okay? You'll thank me later. It's just a word. I don't have any control over your Googling. I don't have any control over that. I didn't tell you to Google it. It's just a word. I like to spell things sometimes, right? And that's a fun word to spell. All right, before I get to my next point, let me grab this, as I always do. Trying to build the community up. So make sure you guys go ahead. For those of you that are new or those of you that are old and haven't done it yet, just go ahead and smash that link up there. That is for the Discord. Please join the community where you will be able to talk Lions with other Lions fans. You'll be able to share pictures, GIFs, memes, videos, whatever, of tailgates, of games that you've gone to, or whatever you want to share in that section. And then we'll have mailbag sections. And if you have a mailbag question, which I have not checked, which I should do, if you have a mailbag question that you think about and you want to see me answer the question on air live, then just pop it in there and I will go ahead and see to it that that gets there. As of yet, no one has asked any mailbag questions. So y'all get in there and start asking mailbag questions. And then we have the show topics. As I said, show topics will be more so this off season, because right now we have our topics. Our topics are the Detroit Lions playoffs and Super Bowl quest. So go ahead and join that. So Motown Mid says, no, not mobile QBs. I don't like it's running QBs. I don't like big difference. I love the guy that can move in the pocket and takes off if he needs to, not the one that looks to look and run QB. Well, I mean, if you look and run QB, who is that? Anthony Richardson? Is Lamar Jackson a look and run QB? Because I would submit that when he fumbled that snap, retreated in the pocket, stiff-armed the same guy twice, goes towards the out-of-bound boundary, jumps up in the air, and throws a touchdown pass while jumping out of bounds is not a look and run QB. So you must love Lamar Jackson because he's the ultimate. Right now, they do have design runs for Lamar Jackson, but Lamar Jackson, again, established a club, first only ever quarterback to throw for 4,000 plus yards and rush for 900 plus yards. And he had 45 total touchdowns. All right. Question. What's your opinion of the Rooney Rule? Is it still needed and relevant? Some candidates know what's up with these so-called interviews. I mean, the Rooney Rule, it's America, man. So it's always going to be relevant. There's always going to be the overtones and the undertones of race and racism. I wish it wasn't like that. But until the society changes, and I'm not saying that the society as a whole is racist, there are pockets of the society, and it seems like there's a default sometimes, just like I was talking about yesterday with the 40 ounces. You know, it's like, why is that even necessary for you to say? You know, as a white person to a black person, why are you bringing up a stereotype instead of just saying alcohol? You know what I mean? So it's always going to be there, but you know, it's the unfortunate thing. Paul Thomas says, I have Minnesota winning. Stafford blows. Rooney Rule is dumb. Just hire best people. Get black coaches more in the trees. Okay, you mean coaching trees? You see it? You gotta be careful with that one, Paul Thomas. One read and run QB. Lamar was a one look and run QB. When he came in, he has evolved, and that's what you expect from players. You expect them to evolve. He can't win his third MVP without having evolved. That's all I'm saying. And yes, exactly, Anthony Richardson, you nailed it. Lamar, rookie, yes, did not like him, needed time to develop. They all need time, all of them. When I hear, yeah, this guy looks to run first, I immediately think to myself, are these cats still on some 1970s football talking about Fran Tarkenton and Bobby Douglas? They never are. Yeah, I know what you meant, Paul Thomas. And yes, today's Lamar is a beast. Would not have so many design runs for him. Don't want my QB taking that many hits. I think Lamar is also smart at, he doesn't take big hits, but I think he did get landed on or something against the Steelers this past weekend. All right, so let me get to this topic. And this is a take that you will hear nowhere else, I promise you. You guys know how critical I am of the national media. I am very critical of the national media. Just like I said a couple shows ago, Shannon Sharp was calling Kerby Joseph Kerry Joseph when he was talking about the All-Pro team, which is asinine. Like, as I said in the same episode, Chad Ochocinco Johnson butchered Dyami Brown's name. But when you see a name that's spelled Dyami, I can understand maybe you don't know how to pronounce that, but you should at least learn it, right? If you're going to be talking about players, you should at least learn how to pronounce their names. Not being able to pronounce Kirby, or it's not that he can't pronounce Kirby. It's throwing aside, just not having enough respect for the man to know that his name is Kirby and not Kerry is crazy. But here is my point. Now, Stephen A. Smith, who has been a supporter of the Lions, Jaden Daniels, the Lions are on upset watch. Dan Orlovsky thinks the Lions are on upset watch, and you're going to have Ryan Clark and Mina Kimes and all those people. Wouldn't surprise me if every single panelist on that show, whatever the show is called, NFL Countdown or whatever, picks the Washington Commanders to beat the Lions on Saturday, to come into Ford Field and beat the Lions. Here's my take. At this point, it is so ridiculous that I really believe that the national media is trying to help the Detroit Lions win the Super Bowl. I think they are purposely giving the Detroit Lions bulletin board material. I'll give you a personal example from myself. Y'all know I'm a Michigan fan. Go Blue. I hate Oh Hell No State. I don't even call the state the name of the state. It's Oh Hell No. You come from Cleveland, oh hell no. LaBum comes from Akron, oh hell no. Right? It is oh hell no. I don't want them to win the national championship. But it just comes to a point where you have to be quiet. Right? I'm not saying nothing about them. I don't get into college football too much these days. I don't know why. I can't really put my finger on why. I know why I boycotted this season, because I knew Michigan was going to be trash. But every game, I was like, oh, Tennessee. Tennessee. Oh, boy, Tennessee. Oh. Oregon. Oh, oh. Who did they just play? Texas. I was like, Texas, Arch Manning. He not playing? Okay. Now when you talk about the national champ, I just don't have anything to say. I don't have anything to say because you get tired of being made to look silly. The national media continues to look silly, and I believe it's on purpose. I believe, and I'm allowing myself to believe this, and I would submit that you should allow yourself to believe this too. They have to be on our side. It must be what it is, because if it's not, then you're just stupid. I mean, there's no other way. This is a 15-2 team. That 14-2 team that you were saying they're gonna beat the Lions, bro. That is a 14-2 team that is also a divisional opponent that was also fighting for the number 1 seed, that was also fighting for the division, and came into Detroit and experienced the BTA event. And that's how Detroit got to 15-2 in dominant fashion. The best point differential the entire season of any NFL team, your 15-2 Detroit Lions, and the national media. Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels. They on upset watch. It gets old, man. It really gets old. It's done. It's old. It's tired. It's finished. Okay? The national media wants the Detroit Lions to win the Super Bowl. That's all. That's what I would submit. I would submit that the national media wants the Detroit Lions to win the Super Bowl. All right. Arf says, but wait, they are experts, LO. No, they're experts at being wrong. We on top, though. My guy, what up? Let's get it. What up, though? We on top, though? All right, let me see what y'all were saying in the chat. TM Martin says 40 ounces. Wow. Yes, that happened. Loaded reference to trees. All right, I gotta go back up. Bear with me now. I'm gonna get to your comments. Again, guys. You want to watch the game with me? I'm streaming it next. I think I go live. It says 12:15. I'll probably go live a little bit earlier. I don't know. We'll probably talk for about 10 more minutes. Then when I go live, I mean, the game doesn't matter. We'll watch it. We'll talk. Y'all can ask me questions. You know, it's a whole chat experience when we're watching this game, because as I said, it doesn't matter. And we'll go back and forth between talking to each other and talking about the game, talking to each other about the game, whatever it is. All right. Let's see. Washington's leading rush is Jaden Daniels. Not a good stat to have, in my opinion. LOL. Yeah. So if your quarterback is your leading rusher and is not named Lamar Jackson, you generally don't make it as far as Washington has. And that's when you say that Jaden Daniels is special, especially for a rookie, then that's what I would point to, right? It's not only that, but he does have a team around him. He does have some pieces. So all I know is that we're not going to see Austin Eckler because he's going to be on the field, but he did say last year that if Jahmyr Gibbs goes over 1,000 scrimmage yards, that he would shave his eyebrows. I don't know that he has done that. I think it was something about he was getting married, so he didn't want to shave them. And then after he got married, he would shave them. I don't know. So if you guys have seen Austin Eckler's podcast or heard anything about him shaving his eyebrows, please let me know, because I think he owes us some eyebrows. Paul Thomas says, nice, Chef. That's why we love you, man. And yes, national media sucks. Ooh, loaded reference to trees. Also, tell white dudes on the daily to stay black. The looks like it. 40 ounces. Wow. Yes, that happened. They're both NPCs now and don't really know what's up. Yeah, that Uncle Ocho. Yeah, they're definitely on some. They give off big NPC energy. Kevin O'Connell, Viking star, Sean McVay, Ram star coach. Oh, Sean McVay. Sorry, why did I look that? All right, so we only know of them because they came from a good coaching tree, and they're also coached Goff. So Goff made them. Glad to see half the QBs are black. I recall when that was a last domain. Yes, we were calling for people like Andre Ware to get some playing time, and he wasn't very good at professional football. Shannon Sharp can't talk. skip. Shannon Sharp is a buffoon. Come blow us. Oh, hell no. Wow, that's a good one. Come blow us. Okay, appreciate the explanation. Taylor May says what the national media is trying to do is draw in the Midwestern markets. I feel you. That's a good explanation. It feel like that schedule. I feel like that schedule was punishment. Oh yeah, the new schedule. They're trying to punish us. Goddamn, they definitely ain't gonna go 15-2 this season. Vilma kept calling Jahmyr Gibbs Jamar Gibbs. Yes, he did, and I was like, Jamar, like, shouts to Jamar, like, he sticks it out and he makes it, and he's on the practice squad every year. And this year he got some playing time in the regular season, which he usually doesn't do. But come on, man, Jamar Gibbs, Jamar Chase. I know Jamar Gibbs. That's not who's on our team. Agree. Shannon Sharp is a straight up buffoon. All right. Facts. I always root against all oh hell no teams. The only team the national press has covered, and that's the Red Wings. Yeah. The Lions' point differential comes primarily from 3 games. I mean, we got a lot of games that are 10 points or more. So, you know, I know the game doesn't matter, but seeing the Vikings lose would be good. Tired of their fans. Yes. Oh, speaking of fans, hold on, let me get this. What's the mailbag email for topics? So Precision Staining, if you hit the link, you can go ahead and join the Discord, and there's a mailbag group in there. If you want to send it, I just got a mailbag question. No, I didn't. I thought it did. It highlighted it for some reason. If you want to send it, then Just a Fan is here. What up, though? Just a Fan join in. Yeah, if you want to send it to an email, the email is this, but I can't guarantee that I'm going to check it because I almost never do. So that's the email. So if you guys want to send me, if you don't like Discord or if you don't have it, you can send it, but just make sure like you remind me. If you send me an email, come in the chat and remind me to check it because it's not my primary email, so I almost never check it. Is there a delay? There could be. It just depends on how my stream goes. Could you put it in the description or on your channel or comments after video and pin it? Uh, yeah, there you go. Cowboys, Titans, and Jaguars. Oh my God, Jaguars. There's no I in the word. Yeah, I'm the same way. Can't cheer for any team out of oh hell no. See that we starting a movement. Tell your friends and family it's called oh hell no. Change the name of the state. We need to start a petition. Change the name of the state. All right. So speaking of fans, I want to get you guys' opinion on the fan whose wife was called a dumb cunt right in front of him to his face, and he did nothing. Let's ask Miss TM Esquire, if your husband didn't act in that situation, how would you feel about him going forward? Because all right, Madden music. Hold on, let me pull this up. I don't know if you guys have seen this channel. I don't know why, but there's a channel that pops up usually when I turn my TV on. And it is a literal Lions fake news channel. And I don't understand how it keeps getting recommended and how people watch it. Like it literally has, oh my God, this just happened, and this signing in Detroit, and it'll have like Brad Holmes on it next to OBJ or anybody, right, that gets cut. I'm like, I don't understand how people click on that. Like nobody ever has said this news was real. No articles. No actual people that like cover the line, nothing. And they just put it out there and they I don't know. I don't understand it. All right, let's see. Let me get this queued up and ready to go. Tim Martin says, oh, hell no. I don't know if that's about the state or about the dude that didn't say anything about his wife. All right, so this game will be starting in what, 10 minutes? She said divorce court. Okay, that's what I thought. The channels are AI generated, but why do they? I guess, not everybody knows, right? So you come in and you're like, oh, the Lions signed Odell Beckham. And it's like, no, they didn't. And even if they did, it's not 5 years ago. It's not an intriguing thing anymore. A man is supposed to defend his woman. Exactly. He was like, okay, cool. I'm filming you. Okay, Karen. Okay, Karen. I was like, you should at least. Now, Mr. Morale will get this reference. I don't know if anybody else will get it, but Mr. Morale is the resident reference getter. All the references I make, he gets them. But you got to hit him with the back up, mind your business. That's all. Just mind your business. If you know, use the hashtag. Like you gotta act like you're gonna do something. You gotta act like you're crazy, even if you can't fight. You gotta jump in his face and hope somebody pulls you guys apart. Something. Like, you got to do something. And if you got to take a couple lumps, I'm pretty sure you'll be compensated later on. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. She said, I think my man would be incredibly weak if he didn't have my back like that. Yeah, it's just. Listen, I hope he posts a follow-up video to the papers. You know what I'm saying? And he'll be mad. Can you believe she's divorcing me over this? Oh my God. I think JJ Watt even said something about the dude. Will Murray got me. Fresh Prince, that is correct. It's just like my wife says, I remember things from movies from 1920. So things just pop into my, like, I remember them. They're like certain things that just stand out. He's a modern beta man. Bro, and here's the thing. He posted the video talking about TikTok find this man. TikTok do your thing. Are you serious? Bro, you shouldn't have posted that. Because you made yourself look weak AF. All right. Let's switch over the stream. I'm going to end this broadcast and I'm going to switch over to the game broadcast. So just follow me over there. I mean, it should tell you I'm live on my channel. So I'll be right back. TM says I like alpha males. I think most ladies do. All right, let me switch on over.